Welcome back. It was a surprise announcement from the Queensland government in the budget back in June. A massive new hike in coal royalties rising from 15% to 40%, putting at risk thousands of jobs in a state once known for its pro-mining economy. Now, at the same time, it's worth remembering that mining resource exports hit a record $77 billion over the past financial year, earning the debt-laden Palaszczuk government $6 billion in royalties. However, the decision sparked consternation, in particular with Japan. The Japanese ambassador to Australia, Yamagami Shingo, has urged the government to rethink this policy and its threats at a national level to pull the gas trigger. Joining me now is Japan's ambassador to Australia, His Excellency Yamagami Shingo. Ambassador, welcome to the program. Pretty rare thing to see an ambassador intervene in domestic politics. This must be causing a fair amount of consternation in Tokyo.
Well, good evening, Peter, and thank you very much for having me. And first, I have to tell you that this is far from intervention in domestic politics of Australia. What is at stake here is how to preserve our economic partnership between Australia and Japan based upon mutual trust. And you are quite right pointing out this hike sent shockwaves through Tokyo. Even one company's share price dropped because of this. Because mineral trade has constituted for a long time a vital pillar of our bilateral trade. Last year, Australia exported $11.7 billion in coal, $6.6 billion in iron ore, and when it comes to LNG, Japan was Australia's #1 destination, exporting a record 26.7 million tons. So these numbers speak volume about the important interest which are at stake here.
How much consultation was Japanese businesses given about this royalty hike?
That's the core of the issue. I keep on hearing from Japanese companies that there was virtually no prior consultations when the rate was raised from 15 to 40%. This was like a complete bolt out of the blue. So when it comes to trustworthy relationship, we have to avoid big surprises. But this was actually a big surprise to many Japanese companies.
We're not the only country, of course, that's got coal or it's got iron ore. What's the risk, given the breakdown in this mutual trust that's been there for decades, what's the risk that Japanese businesses will look elsewhere to buy the resources?
I think you are quite right. I mean, this issue could have implications or ramifications beyond the state of Queensland, or even beyond the single item of coal. When it comes to coal, already some business people from Japan are telling me that if this situation continues, they have no other option but to look for other alternative sources, say South America or Southeast Asia and Africa. And given how much they put into nurturing this trade partnership based upon mutual trust. You know that the coal trade started between Australia and Japan in 1865. So more than a century, we have nurtured this trust-based economic partnership, and this is what we should preserve.
Just quickly, Ambassador, you've also got issues at a federal level with the threat of the gas trigger, holding back contracted gas going to Japan to stay in the Australian domestic system, not because we don't have enough gas. We've got plenty of it in the ground. It's just we've given up exploring and extracting new sources of gas. Have you raised that with the Albanese government?
I have been talking with ministers concerned, including Trade Minister Don Farrell, Resources Minister Madeleine King, and of course, Japan is fully aware of the need to, make sure, domestic supply is taken care of. But at the same time, what we have to emphasize to Australian counterpart is Japan does not want the flow of LNG from Australia to Japan to be impacted negatively. So far, we have received reassurances from the two ministers that Australia will remain a trusted and reliable energy exporter to Japan. And, I'm very, very encouraged to hear that.
Ambassador, thank you.